Hey everybody, Sam here today with an improvised lesson that just came out of some conversations. So first and foremost, I just want you all to know this is just my personal theory on how to maintain friendships, or if you want to call them relationships, but I like using the word friendship because I think they're different. And this just happened because, me and my fiance, we definitely have different styles about how we're going about having friends. And I have some other people in my life that, will say they don't have a lot of friends. And, like, oh man, having a lot of friends is stressful and this and that. So I want to go over my theory about how to maintain a lot of friendships and how to make sure that they don't ruin or run your life by trying to maintain too many different friendships. So I made my beautiful little chart here with my awesome child handwriting. So Sam's theory on maintaining friendships. So you're gonna see my beautiful little target here. So first I want to just break it down. So if you notice, in the target, the red or that pink center, it's full. There is no open space. It's everything. Everything is filled. And then you go to my next one, you notice it's not quite as full, but there's a lot of lines, there's a lot of connections, there's a lot of these things. And you go to the last one, and they're very intermittent, right? And so, honestly, when me and my fiance were talking about our wedding, she said something like, I could count my friends on two hands. And I was like, oh man, I would need, notebooks. And when I said it, I kind of thought that, sounded like an asshole a little bit, like, oh, I have so many friends. And the way I thought about it was we just actually approach friendship very differently. And it made me think of like different types of friends and how to maintain these relationships and why, and where they stand, and why maybe like I might maintain more friendships, than my fiance Kayla would. So, I've been thinking about this for a while, and so in the middle, right, these are what I would call your everythings. These people you can share any moment with. The specific key marker and difference between the everythings and everyone else is this includes your problems, the things that you're struggling with, the things that are hard in your life, those personal things. You feel comfortable sharing those with your everythings, and you obviously celebrate your joys and all of that, but that way you maintain these. And this group is the smallest, right? You'll have the smallest amount of everythings. Now, maybe I'll have more of everythings than Kayla because I'm a little bit more, extroverted, but that doesn't mean, that I'm gonna have more types of everythings than I am the next round. So these everythings, these are people that, maybe you've known a long time, you've gone through a lot of stuff with, or you've shared a lot of problems with, and they've reacted in the way one of your everythings should. So to me, that's the big defining category. It's like not only do you celebrate stuff, but you share, the tough moments, and you keep these people around often. And so what I think is people that a lot of times, introverts or don't associate with a lot of friends or say they have any, they just consider only their friends their everythings. Only the people I'm comfortable dumping my problems on or sharing my problems with are my friends. Now, my personal theory, again, because it's Sam's theory, so it's my theory, is that that's not all friendships are, and that's not all they should be. You shouldn't have to be somebody's everythings to be their friends. You shouldn't have to be able to dump problems on. So where that comes in is this next one. Now, there's a lot of connections, but notice it's not everything. Not everything is full. So these are what I would creatively name your some things. Maybe you're not going to dump problems on these person, but you're going to share quite a few life moments. You may go out of your way to see these people every once in a while. You'll let them know when you're in their town, but you'll maybe make plans with them directly. You'll reach out through text message to find out how their life is going. And you'll do some of these things, because you still do enjoy them. And the biggest one is you have a lot of commonalities, right? So here you're going to share all your problems, but here you're just going to have a lot of things in common, and that's easy to maintain those types of friendships if you have stuff in common, because right when you get together, you pick right up. So you'll have a few more some things than you will everythings. Like, people you do want to share a big moment with. Maybe some people that might get invited to your wedding, that's fine. These people might be in your wedding, these people might be invited to your wedding. And so there's definitely ranges for that. Now, you may not, call this person when you need something the most, but you also might call them to do something positive, or if you need, another person in your golf round, or you want someone to fill out a house for a ski trip. Like, these are people that you can invite because you still get along with them. Now, and so I think a lot of times if we include those, we realize, wow, I maybe do have a few more friends. Now, the last one that I also think is important that might make somebody like me, an extrovert, seems like I have a lot of friends, are this last one, there's a few connections, there's not a lot, but these are your few things, right? A lot of times these are friends that you will still maintain a relationship. You might follow on social media, but like, let's say if you do go to their hometown, you might try to grab a bite to eat. If they come there, you guys might connect or catch up, or maybe you might meet through another mutual friend. But these aren't people you're necessarily going to go out of your way to invite to your wedding, but you wouldn't be opposed to hanging out with if it happened. And you may not going and texting these people a lot of stuff. Maybe you have one good, strong memory together, and when that comes across, you'll shoot them a text, And so that's a lot of times of what it can be. But those are your few things. And so if you feel like, hey, I don't have a lot of friends, maybe start looking at some of the relationships in your life and find out, do they just fall into those different categories of friendships? Do I actually maybe have a lot more friends than I realized?